This tutorial is for 3rd grade, Module 7, Lesson 7. In this lesson, we're going to continue to look at the connection between perimeter and area. The directions for the first section say to count out 18 square tiles and then rearrange the 18 squares to make as many different rectangles as we can. We're going to record the information about each rectangle in the table, including our measurement labels. So I'm going to arrange 18 square tiles to make a rectangle. I'll record the length, the width, the area, and the perimeter. I have 18 square tiles here, and so now I'm going to use those tiles to make a rectangle. So I'm just going to start dragging them around until I have a nice rectangle. Here's my completed rectangle. You can see that the length along the side of the rectangle is 3 units, and the width going across the top of the rectangle is 6 units. So we would say that this rectangle is 3 units by 6 units. I'm going to fill in that information on my chart. So along the side we had 3 units, and I'm using the label units because I don't know the exact measurement of each of those squares. Along the top we had 6 units. To find the area, I would take my length times my width, which is 3 times 6, which is 18. But if you think about it, since we used 18 square tiles to make the rectangle, it would make sense that the area is 18 square units because that's what area is measuring. How many squares make up the shape? To find the perimeter, I need to add all 4 sides. Well, one side was 3 units. The top was 6, so 3 plus 6 is 9. The left side would be another 3 units, so that's 12, and then the bottom would be another 6 units. So in this case, my perimeter is also 18 units. Now let's see if we can make another rectangle. Here's my new rectangle. This time, the length along the side is 2 units, and across the top I have 9 units. So this is a 2 by 9 rectangle. And again, I'll fill in those units on our chart. So the length was 2 units. The width was 9 units. The area is 18. 2 times 9 is 18 square units. And again, I used 18 square tiles to make that rectangle, so it makes sense that that area would stay the same. Now let's find the perimeter. One side was 2 units, the top was 9 units, the other side would be 2 units, and then the bottom would be 9 units. 2 plus 9 is 11, plus 2 is 13, plus 9 is 22. So this time, the perimeter of the rectangle is 22 units. Let's see if we can find another rectangle. My last rectangle is one long rectangle that has a side unit of 1 unit and a top measurement of 18 units. So this would be a 1 by 18 rectangle. And we can record those measurements. So this time the length was 1 unit, the width was 18 units. The area would be 1 times 18, or again, 18 square units. For the perimeter, we would add 1 plus 18 plus 1 plus 18. I'm going to look at these as 1 plus 18 is 19. 1 plus 18 is 19. Well, 19 plus 19, I'm going to do some mental math here. That's close to 20 plus 20. 20 plus 20 would be 40. I'll take away 2, and that would give me 38. That means that the perimeter of that rectangle was 38 units. In the next section, we'll look at that data to help us decide if each statement is true or false. The first statement is all of the rectangles have the same perimeter. So if I look at the perimeter column, you can see that they do not have the same perimeter. So that statement is false. All of the rectangles have the same area. Looking at the area column, they do have the same area. And again, that makes sense because for each rectangle, we used 18 square tiles to make the rectangle. So that area was always 18 square units. The next statement says you can make a square using 18 tiles. So by a square, that means all of the sides had to be the same length, and we were not able to make a square using 18 tiles. The next statement says all of the perimeters are 20 inches or more. If we look at our measurements, the first one was 18 units, so that would be false. And then the last statement says all of the perimeters are even numbers. We have 18 units, 22, and 38. So yes, that was true in this case. The main thing to realize here is you can have rectangles that have the same area but have different perimeters.